Eeva Primmer from the Finnish Environment Institute.
Okay, we're here in the context of this InnoForESt project. Could you give us a brief insight of what this project is about?
InnoForESt project is a European innovation action, or a Horizon 2020 innovation action, where we are looking at different forest ecosystem services and innovative ways of governing and developing business as well around the forest ecosystem services.
So what is your work in this project? What are you actually doing?
Well, like I said, the project is about innovations, and we have different innovations happening in different places in Europe. What I do, I lead a work package where we are actually looking at the landscape in which these innovations happen. We look at where the ecosystem services exist. So we map ecosystem services, we map wood, timber growth, carbon sequestration, water retention, pollination, recreation. So we map the ecosystem services across Europe. And in addition to mapping the biophysical ecosystem services, we map the ways in which we strategically steer the provision of ecosystem services. And we do this by looking at different European strategies that steer the ecosystem service provision. We look at forest strategies, bioeconomy strategies, and biodiversity conservation strategies, and how they address the different forest ecosystem services, how they address innovations, how they address governance, and the different actors that both provide the ecosystem services and benefit from them. So we do this very challenging mapping of both what the forests have in them and what the governance setting or institutional setting around Europe is.
Well, this sounds really interesting. So then we know where these ecosystem services exist and we know what the politicians want to do about it. What does it help the people or the forest?
Well, the strategies that we look at are in a way interpretations of what people want. So like you said, politicians make the interpretation and they develop ways to, in a way, steer the society to provide these ecosystem services. Different actors, of course, benefit in different ways. We have thought very much about how the innovations benefit from the mapping, and we think that the innovations that emerge in one area, like our case is the innovation pilots that we are looking at, have emerged in a certain setting where certain ecosystem services exist and a certain institutional setting exists. The mapping will help us to look at whether these could be replicated, these innovations, in other similar contexts, whether there are contexts that would need more certain type of strategic approach to be able to apply an innovation, and in general what the landscape for in a way transferring innovations to is like.